Zone. Zone, dog, cut it out, dude. Let me tell you something. First of all, you've made countless videos and comments about Floyd Mayweather. You've been very critical about how he's continued to fight overmatched opposition, over the hill opponents like I have. You've done this on many occasions. Okay, I find it very convenient now that or a coincidence that you took down those videos, and given the fact that you have shut down your channel a few times and you come back. So I find that very obvious now that you want to give him credit for beating De La Hoya. Well, okay, whatever. But if you're going to do that, then you might as well concede to the fact that Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, the same guy that you said that Floyd Mayweather is going to get his ass whipped by. And it took you a week later to make a fucking response video, and you still believe that Pacquiao won the fight. Really? Okay, whatever. And then you also went at Harry Greb. You talking about you never said that Harry Greb was not an all-time great, but you called him a bum. Bruh, when you call a fighter a bum, you're pretty much saying that he's not an all-time great. It's simple logic, man. You're not fooling anybody with that. Okay, yeah, it's your prerogative. You don't have to rate him in the top 3 based off the fact you've never seen him fight. That's fine. That's cool. But if that's the case, then why you rate Sam Langford very highly? I'm not sure you have him in your top 3, but you rate him very, very highly. Sam Langford, there's only 3 fights on Sam Langford on YouTube, right? But those fights are very condensed because, back then, fighters were fighting 45 rounds or 50 rounds back then. 45 rounds, I should say. I'm sorry, back then. So those fights are very condensed. But based off those 3 fights, I'm sure you've seen those fights or you have not. But based off those 3 fights, if you have seen them, you're going to rate Sam Langford very high? That makes no sense, bruh. So you got to be consistent here. You talk about I bodied myself, bruh. Let me tell you something. You totally bodied yourself. You totally screwed up in this video that you made. I'm going to point that out for you. Because first, you said that if a guy enters a negotiation with another guy who's a champion, they're both champions, right? But if the other guy is the lineal champion, right, he supersedes the guy as the A side in the negotiation process. Really? Really? Then let me ask you something. Then why did Bernard Hopkins, who was the lineal undisputed middleweight champion, became the B side when he entered negotiations with Oscar De La Hoya? In case you didn't know, this is the same explanation I told Low Place. Okay? There's been many occasions where a guy who has multiple belts over the other guy who may not have a belt but only has one belt, because he has to be the B side in this situation because he doesn't have the draw power or the resume to show forth that he deserves a higher split. Okay? It's always been that way. Same thing with Hopkins. Hopkins was a unified champion at middleweight before he fought Felix Trinidad. But he was the B side in that negotiation process because Trinidad was the guy who was rated one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world. I think he was number 1, number 2 at the time, behind Roy Jones Jr. Trinidad was the draw. He had the power. He had the resume. Hopkins had to concede to his demands to make that fight happen. All right? Same thing with Guillermo Rigondeaux. He was a belt holder, and Nunez Donaire is a belt holder. But the fact is, according to your criteria, the fact that Donaire was the lineal champion at that weight class at super bantamweight, but Donaire also had a better resume than Guillermo Rigondeaux. That's a fact. But Rigondeaux had to concede to his demands to make that fight happen. All right, so I don't understand your logic why you say Adonis Stevenson is the A side of the negotiation with Hopkins, while Hopkins was the unified champion light heavyweight. So again, you just said that if you're the unified champion, you should supersede as the A side in the negotiation process with the guy who's a belt holder, although that belt holder is a lineal champion. So why the fuck are you gonna say 2 different things in one video? Bruh, come on. Come on, man. Make sense of this, man. You got to be more clear on what you say, bro, because I catch these things. Wow. What else did you say? Okay, I appreciate your clarification on who you think is the man at light heavyweight, because that's all I asked, bro. Don't say that I lied in that video. All I asked you is that explain to me, because it just seems to me that you said both Andre Ward is the man, given the fact that he's a light heavyweight champion, and Adonis Stevenson is the man. So I wanted a clarification on that. Hopefully, if Ward does get past Kovalev tonight, he can retain the belts. Then we can have another conversation on that. So all I asked was a clarification. I never lied on anything about what you said in that video. Okay? Now, what else did you say? You also said that it's not Adonis Stevenson's responsibility to concede in negotiations. Really? I mean, I just pointed out Hopkins did it. I just pointed out that he did it with Trinidad and De La Hoya. And also pointed out the fact that Rigondeaux did it with Donaire. So it's happened on many occasions, man. So what are you talking about? Now, as far as the Margarito and that Mayweather situation, Bruh, you're not going to win an argument by putting out a stupid-ass difference where why you give Mayweather no pass for why he backed out of that negotiation with Margarito, why you give Adonis Stevenson a pass for backing out the negotiation with Bernard Hopkins. Let's make this clear. Again, you have two belt holders. Margarito was a WBO champion, but you failed to acknowledge that when he was WBO champion, he had a belt that was less regarded back then. All right? The WBO didn't become a full recognized sanctioned body until after the late 2007. The negotiation process between Mayweather and Margarito was 2006, a year before. Mayweather was the IBF champion. All right? Before that, the guy was rated one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Had a stellar resume. Beat lineal champions. So how the fuck can you say give Adonis Stevenson a pass for ducking and getting out of negotiations with Hopkins while you're not giving Mayweather a pass for doing that? Oh, because Margarito walked up to him, so that's why I'm not giving him a pass for that? Man, get the fuck out of here, bruh. That is a dumbass argument. I'm sorry to be real, bro. That you're not gonna win any argument over using that type of excuse my language, that differentiator factor, bro. So that you're not gonna do that. All right. So what else did you say? You also said that, well, I conceded to the fact that the librarian and myself, we share information. That's the reason why your criteria is no different from his. Bruh. I told you that the librarian and myself don't talk to each other behind the closed doors. We don't do that. The only time we ever talk is on Hangouts. They're still up. Look at the Boxing Library channel. We have the Hangouts. When we have discussions about boxing, dude, I tell him about information that I think that he's aware of, but he admits that he wasn't aware of it. Just like I do. We do this all the time, bro, just like you. When you have discussions with other people, you guys will concede to each other. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, he didn't know that. It happens all the time. So I don't know where you're going with this, bro. It makes no sense. All right? Again, I laid out my criteria on how I rated all-time great. I've yet to hear from you about that. Okay? You failed to give us your criteria how you rate an all-time great fighter, okay? Yeah, except for the fact that you have admitted that, okay, I haven't watched this fight, so I'm not going to rate anybody high. Okay, that's your opinion, all right? But the fact is, you haven't given us a full criteria on that. So I would like to hear from you. Other than the fact that you haven't seen the other fighter fight, how do you rate an all-time great fighter based off your criteria? I have yet to hear from you from that. And you failed to break down on your case on why Adonis Stevenson should be considered an all-time great fighter. In your opinion, your top 10. That's what you said, okay? You didn't break that down in that video that you came after me and Reef and the librarian, all right? Again, it's a dumbass way to get out of it by saying that, well, BoxRec has them in the top 50 or, great 50 ranked. Well, I'm studying here. BoxRec has them at rank number 50 as the 50th greatest light heavyweight of all time. So there you go. I don't have to do a breakdown. Man, fuck that, bruh. Again, let me tell you something about BoxRec. Does BoxRec have great information? Yes, it does. But does it have all the information that I looked for? No, it doesn't. Okay? Let me give you an example. All right? When you look for statements about Charlie Burley and his fighting style, right? You're not going to find that on BoxRec, bruh. What do? You do further research where I find it very amazing that most of these people on here fail to do that. They always rely on BoxRec to get their information. No, you have to go outside of BoxRec to get some other information that you're looking for. Okay? For example, Charlie Burley. When fighters and managers, when they have their opinion about them or, there's factual stories about Charlie Burley. I'll give you an example. Archie Moore said that Charlie Burley was the only guy that ever gave me a boxing lesson in my career, and I learned a lot from fighting him. Okay? Yeah, Charlie Burley beat the shit. When I say beat the shit, he schooled Archie Moore, made him look so one-dimensional, which Archie Moore admitted to. You're not going to find that on BoxRec, bro. I didn't find that there. Okay? What else? Sugar Ray Robinson, okay? Yeah, his manager admitted that, they ducked the Charlie Burley fight because they felt that style of fighting was all wrong for Robinson, okay? I didn't find that on BoxRec. I found it elsewhere. Okay, so come on, man, cut the bullshit. There's far more information that we can find outside of BoxRec. That's what I do, and that's what the librarian does. I mean, I wish everybody else follows suit too. I know Reef does it as well. So come on, man, cut the bullshit. Okay? So again, I'm going to ask you again, bro, since you had eluded my questions. How do you rate an all-time great fighter based off your criteria? Other than the fact that you said that I'm not going to rate a fighter based off the fact that I have not seen what he's able to do in his career. Again, give us a full detailed breakdown on why Adonis Stevenson should be ranked a top 10 great all-time great light heavyweight. That's all I'm asking. Answer the questions and then we'll move on, brother. Answer the questions, man. Okay? Jesus Christ. And I also appreciate the fact that you clear up the whole Margarito situation. That's cool. But what I find very confusing is that based off the fact that he beat Kermit Cintron and Miguel Cotto, you're going to put him in there in the top 10, one of the top 10 greatest welterweights, really? I mean, why did you disregard Kid Gallivan? Why did you disregard Henry Armstrong? Why did you disregard Sugar Ray Robinson, who many universally recognize him as the greatest greatest welterweight of all time? Ted Kid Lewis. Who else in there? Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Benny Leonard, Barney Ross, Emil Griffith, Jose Napoles, Jack Britton, Barbados Joe Wilcott, who was a fucking welterweight who was always fighting heavyweights. So why not rank those guys? I mean, why didn't you look at their careers, man? I mean, hey, I know you said that, I can't rate a fighter based off I haven't seen what they're able to do in their career. Well, guess what? YouTube have their footage of their fights, many of their fights. All you do have to research it, take a look at their fights, take a look at their level of opposition that they fought, and then come to that conclusion, man. I just disagree with the fact that you can't put a guy in the top 10 based off the fact of one good win. That was against Miguel Cotto. That was it. Yes, he beat Sergio Martinez at welterweight, but Sergio Martinez didn't make a career until he fought at light middleweight and then middleweight. All right? Other than that, that's it. Nobody else. Carmen Cintron, come on, man. Carmen Cintron is not even considered an all-time great fighter. Let's not get it twisted, man. Wow, bruh. So again, bruh, you bodied yourself in that damn video response you made towards me in the library. And too many contradictions here. You say one thing, then you say another thing. Come on. Gotta stay consistent, Zone. Stay consistent with your arguments, man. Straight up. So I'll be waiting for your reply. All right? So please answer my questions. I'm out.